Yeah, I think the principal support is paramount.
Okay.
And I presented to staff a lot of the notes from last time, and we could tick off fairly quickly what we agree on about the 5 hours of maths, and that we try to do 4 before, like 4 would have to be before 12:30 completed. And
That's actually happening already, or everyone agreed?
We all pretty much agreed on that, so we could tick off quite a few things.
Don't feel intimidated.
Our school rotations have been pushed in the early years for maths as well. And so,
describe for us what you mean by rotation.
Well, where you would have 4 groups doing 4 activities. One of those would be on the computer, say, one with the teacher, and the other 2 the children would be able to do independently.
So, and all the kids do all the activities?
4 activities.
So it's not differentiated, they're just moving around?
No, with the teacher would probably be where it's differentiated, and also like on mathletics, you know, that's at their level. But the other 2 would be expected to be independent.
All right.
So I trialled the structure that you gave us, and we did perimeter where we used straws, icicol sticks and hand spans, and I paired them up and sent them off. They all had the same activity. They could record it how they wanted, and it was just fabulous what they came back with. Some did a table, some said, can we estimate? Some decided to write centimetres for everything, which I thought is still great because they were thinking about units. Someone else got into an argument about if you have to go all the way around, or you can just do that side and that side, and you know, because they're the same of the rectangle, and you know, double those.
Great.
And so I was able to share that with the staff as well, and we agreed, and the principal said he wants everyone to trial this format by the end of the term.
Great.
So then we'll come back and discuss a lot of the other things that we couldn't just tick off.
That's great. So in trial, that even if they just do one lesson like that rather than a rotation, just to see how it sits, that's fantastic. Right across the school?
Yeah, I think the upper school don't tend to do the rotations, but the junior school, it's been very much pushed to do rotations. So we've said we expect everyone to trial that format before we meet again.
That's wonderful. Now, I did tell you that I edit Prime Number, didn't I? So Prime Number, the magazine, because that sounds like such a lesson that should appear in Prime Number. So you can run but you can't hide. I'll be looking for you. Okay, somebody else, something to share?
Last year, after I did the training with you and Peter, we worked out a template with an explicit goal at the beginning of the lesson, the whole teaching focus, and I found the summarising their learning as I was moving around worked really well, kind of in the middle sort of bit. So, and then a very quick review at the end of their learning. And I had to go and model lessons in everybody's classrooms, and then they had time to talk to me about that. So we'd already developed a template that was based on Peter and your work, but was kind of personalised to Northcote Primary School.
That's good.
And pretty much everybody was encouraged to try that in term 2, and they were told it had to be happening in term 3 and 4. And this year it's an expectation, it's part of our term planner documents. And so I missed last session because we had district athletics and I had to go. But Nikki, who was here last week, just did a 2-page summary of the work that you did with the group last week. And from that, after we talked about it in leadership, we decided that if everybody was given the information that number had to be part of the lesson, that needed to come at the beginning before the goal. And pretty much it was nobody, people just kind of said, oh yeah, okay. So because they're already following a template really already, and I think for most people they've sort of embedded it a bit more into their practice. So now putting the 10-minute number in, and the kids are now expecting it. My maths groups are going, oh yeah. They've already got their books out ready to do a number activity when they come in to me for their, in their maths when we change over for maths groups. Good. So that's actually, I think, working going to work really well.
Yeah.
So it was sort of easy in one way. It was really quite hard last year because basically we went straight into implementation mode in second term pretty much solidly.
Yeah.
After each numeracy session, I was expected to feed back to staff the following Monday or Wednesday, whenever our staff meeting had happened. So I really had a very short time to play around with whatever it was with my grade 5, 6s before I fed back to the staff. So they were getting everything almost as soon as I was learning it. And the modelled lessons everyone found really, really useful, and they weren't judging me on how good or bad I was, but it was because I was following the template that I had worked out based on Peter's work. So we chose to have Peter come to the school this year because numeracy was our focus. Our literacy results are actually quite good, but they're not as good as our numeracy results really should be on par with our literacy results, and they weren't. So we tried things last year and the year before because we were already going the year before the AIZ started. We were trying things like having a numeracy, a double block from 9 till 11 in the morning, and that everybody had to show on their timetable that they were doing either a 1 hour for the younger kids or a 2 hour with the older kids block, and they had to show that in their planning and in their timetable. So we looked at what are the things that makes literacy work really well at our school, and then what things can then move over into numeracy. So
that's good.
So it was kind of easy for me because we were already in that. We'd done a whole lot of PD in 2007. A lot of teachers had gone off to do.
Yeah, can I just ask you in that, because I said last week that in my experience the teachers have been PD'd and know all the things that make for great classrooms, and when you said, and they said, yeah, okay, people know things and they say okay and they write them in their planner, but have you built in any accountability about how do we know that it actually gets past the classroom door?
Having it in the numeracy planner makes it a bit more of a focus, I think, when people are doing term planners.
Does the maths coordinator regularly pop into classrooms or anything like that?
No, we're too small a school to be able to do that. What we've done is had learning walks. And
that's good.
In the last learning walk, nearly everybody...
Would you explain to everyone what a learning walk is, just in case?
It's really just a visit into each teacher's classroom, and you can see by, things that they've got up in the room, get a bit of an idea about what's going on, and then they explain a particular activity that they think worked really well either that day or, previous couple of days. And you can look in the kids' workbooks because they're all out, and you really get a pretty good idea of what's going on in classrooms. So our last walk, nearly everybody showed a numeracy activity, and they could choose. They didn't have to do literacy or numeracy. So I felt I felt really good actually after our last learning walk, because I could see just by what the kids were showing that
changes have been
made, certainly we have an assembly once a week, and most people are now, instead of just doing a song or the typical kind of assembly thing, our kids are now doing things like talking about their learning, and you can really see at assembly when you've got a group of kids out there saying, I learned about prime numbers, and this is a factor tree, and they'll show up their factor trees and whatever. So you've got a pretty good idea that it's happening. Yeah, so there's lots more. The kids are talking a lot more about my learning, I have learned, I want to learn.
All right, thanks for that.